Hi, I'm John,
And I'm Eric.
and we are proud affiliates of the You Run Podcast Network.
Head on over to yourunpodcast.com to check out all of our content, all of our affiliates' content, and so much more.
See y'all there. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another riveting edition of Under the Floorboards, where we laugh at the creatures that go bump in the night. I'm your host, John, joined as always by my beautiful co-host, Eric. How are you this week?
Fucking fabulous. We're still in recliner mode.
Yeah. Granted, I can kind of walk now.
He can kind of walk.
I can kind of walk like a Jabberwocky.
Which is sick. Congrats.
Yeah.
Gaining basic motor skills back after, what feels like a year of this.
I like to attribute it to my greatness.
Mm.
And I want to thank Satan, first of all, for the deal we made. He's going to kill my surgeon.
No skin off your scrot, bro. All I'm saying is it took Gabriel Landeskog 3 years to come back, and it took you 1. So you're pretty much the best hockey player of all time.
I know. They say it's the Great 8.
Yeah.
What they mean is it's all in the hull.
Mm-hmm. Hole in one.
Holes downfield, boys. Well, in all seriousness, welcome to the warmer months. I know I'm wearing a hoodie right now, but
and I'm wearing that deep V.
Yeah, so he likes the way the cool breeze feels against his nipples.
So does everybody.
We had a nice little getting out of school flick this week.
Yes, this is what it's all about.
The graduation time, the fucking
warm weather.
Fucking
pool time.
Slides.
Snorting coke off of titties.
What I can only assume is first time anal for a lot of these people.
Mm-hmm.
We watched Aquaslash. And it's funny because we were, we go through our Tubi trash phases, as a lot of you guys know. And the best part was we were reading descriptions of shit, and Eric just goes, "That's the one."
That's the one. No, that's it. And I think we really nailed it with this pick. I think this is exactly if you want a blueprint for what Tubi trash is, in our opinion, I think this is it. Yeah,
because the thing is, it's just fun. It is a fun movie to watch. The gore is insane.
Mm-hmm. The plot makes no sense. There's zero character development. There's a little bit of a red herring, Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah.
That was the thing, was it didn't even feel like there was a red herring. It was just one of those things where we have decided that this is the killer.
Right.
It has been decided.
All of the bad guys you thought that were bad people are actually good people.
They're fine.
Yeah. But this is just again, like you said, this is just what I consider and this is super lame to say out loud, but I consider the most fun that I've ever had in my life over a period of time would be that post-graduating high school summer, about to go into college. All the homies are partying. We're all every single day is just one after another. We're hanging out. We're doing whatever. This time we're at a water park. Let's drink some beers. Let's take some vodka down a water slide. It's so fun.
It's so funny that you say that, because I was on house arrest.
Oh no!
During that period of time.
Well, you missed out.
I'm like Squidward looking out the window while everyone's going to beach week.
Yeah.
Obviously, I had plenty of fun before that.
Very obviously so. Also, we are now drinking Coors Light because the Avs are in the playoffs. So go Avs.
Go McCarr. Praise be to the kale.
All hail.
Where I'm actually only drinking kale smoothies this week. I'm not actually I'm not eating food right now. It's going to be a very runny Stanley Cup.
That's why they call it the run, baby.
Looking for that ship. But we watched a summer fun fucking film.
That's a sweet 3.7 on that even sweeter 1 hour and 11-minute runtime with Tubi ads.
We're literally consider doing a hating the haters episode on it, because I get if you look at this film from an objective standpoint, first of all, the cinematography was weirdly good. It's actually really good.
the music at the beginning is something akin to like Sam Raimi's Spider-Man. The track selections throughout where they're pulling from 80s pop and top 40 and that kind of thing are songs everybody knows. It's not track 6 off of the 4th album of this band that opened up for these guys. You know, it's like it's an actual song you heard. And shout out, dude. Holy shit.
Yeah, honestly, I was really impressed because I thought we were like I've seen the bottom of the trash can a couple
Yeah.
times.
What was that? Shark Month?
Oh my god, dude. We will never live down Shark
Yeah,
Month.
yeah.
It's yeah.
That was my bad. I apologize.
No,
guys.
no, no. Well, you know. If you want to jump on that grenade, that's fine.
Yeah, yeah. You agreed to it, but I threw it. So,
Shark Month.
yeah. But it kind of feels like a Shark Month vibe movie, just the better ones.
The craziest part was Jaws was almost the worst movie we watched during that entire thing.
And we'll die on that hill. Not a great movie.
No, cinematically, sure, but nothing happens in that film.
Nope.
And I got to go off on this for a second because again, like Jaws is the epitome of white privilege, and that's what
Great white privilege.
Yeah, they're all great.
Yeah.
But that's what got me about that fucking film is the fact that they're like, you didn't tell us there were sharks in the water. It's the ocean, bitch.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I'm sorry that they didn't exterminate all of the sharks before your kid got in there.
They tell us there was grizzly bears in the fucking forest in Nebraska. Yeah.
My husband got molested by a grizzly bear. He's traumatized. Did the bear get the honey? All right, we're going a little. Anyways,
Aquaslash.
Aquaslash.
So, as every good summertime horror movie should, this one opens up with two people that are just trying to fuck.
Real quick. We have
hit it.
We have an itinerary for this film. They put work into it.
Okay.
And if people decide that they should watch this movie, or if somebody else goes out and they're like, hey, I need somebody to work on a project, I should check out some form of Tubi trash that UTF was
Fair
recommending.
Enough. Credit where it's due.
Renaud Gauthier or Gauthier.
Gautier.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Renaud Gautier, writer director.
Dallas Goddard.
Must be love on the brain. In case you guys are not physically watching this on YouTube, I'm wearing an Eagles hat. So
he always does.
Always has been.
Always has been.
So writer director Renaud Gautier. Again, honestly, great job. I was very impressed with how the project came out because this is something that very easily could have been absolute dog shit. Like easily.
Yeah.
Like so the cast, we have Nicholas Fontaine as Josh, we have Brittany Drisdale as Priscilla, we have Nick Walker as Paul Wilkinson, Madeline Harvey as Alice as Madeline Harvey. I hate when IMDb does that. We had Paul Zeno as Tommy, Chip Chupka.
You got it.
As Conrad. We had Hojo, or that's crazy.
His name's Hojo.
Hojo Rose as Michael Randall. So he's playing the father.
Okay.
We had Lenisa Dawn as Kimberly, Ivan DeOsa as Big Phil. And I'm pretty sure we're just starting to get into the rest of the class of 2020. Did
they have Goku Kid listed on there just out of curiosity?
You know, he's kind of hard to identify because he didn't keep the hair. And I don't want to just be like, oh, it's got to be this black guy.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, because this is not it. This is the other guy.
It's just so hard to find a black dude that likes anime.
Which a Goku looking ass. Guys, seriously, like the hairpiece that they put on this dude looked like it was 20% of the budget because it looked like you could actually reach over the top of him and scoop him by his fucking hair.
Had some structure to it. But it looked like Lego hair. You know how it like has the like
Oh yeah, it
The
popped
fucking
on
yeah.
and curled around to his skull. There was like 6 inches coming off of his skull that was just the hair setting itself.
Correct.
Which 5 head.
That's me. That's my job.
I said
First of
I
all.
said 5, not 6. Golf
put,
clap.
put
Golf
some applause in.
clap. Anyways, you were saying that. Well, actually, let's give our first impressions.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Sure.
because again, this is I had never seen it before, and I'm always ready to dive into the deep end, as it were. And
Food.
yeah, and I gotta tell you, I was overall very impressed with how much fun I had.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Like, this doesn't have to be Requiem for a Dream. It can just be something that's fun. And this movie accomplished that really hard with incredible kills and comedic dialogue and a lot of butt sex and rave titties, and it's literally everything that you would want in a summer flick, and they do it in an hour and 11 minutes including credits. Perfect quick watch.
Yeah.
Loved it. Had so much fun doing it.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Everybody should see this once. This is again, it reminds me of, like, not to be like that dude that's like, oh, I peaked in fucking high school, but like it reminds me of how fun
Why was my dick bigger in high school?
It's because I was 180 pounds instead of 260 pounds. But
I thought it was the extra 12 years of microplastics at this point.
Yeah, right. Right. I think that, yeah, we should start that conspiracy theory. If you drink bottled water, it'll shrink your dick.
It's all the fluoride.
Should buy reusable metal cups instead, so your dick returns to its former glory.
My mom was like, "You've got to stop using a metal water bottle." I was like, "You've got to stop listening to Joe Rogan."
Hey dudes, John and Eric here from Under the Floorboards podcast.
Today we're turning the spotlight over to Pop Culture Reflections, a podcast, all things pop culture from the 80s, 90s, and beyond.
Justin and Greg tackle everything from pro wrestling to music, television to cultural goings-on, and film to freaking whatever, man.
Check out Pop Culture Reflections on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and as always, yourunpodcast.com.
But it's just, like I said, man, everybody should see this one once. It's stupid fun, and I really want to emphasize stupid fun. Like, it's meant to be enjoyed. Nobody that, like, I get that you have to give a critical review if you're going to put up something on IMDb or one of these kind of review websites or whatever.
Realistic review.
But
you
just
don't have to be critical, just be realistic about it.
But I want people to get better at contextualizing this in terms of, like, what the intention was. This was not meant to, like,
Sure.
This was not meant to do anything aside from, let's do a horror movie, but with a killing kind of mechanic that nobody's ever seen before. Because I've never seen somebody die in a water slide before in a horror movie. Like, where the water slide, you know what I mean? And let's do something that's like,
I'm racking my brain, and there
vaguely
might be, but I don't know that
Yeah.
I've seen it either.
right. And so we're going to do something that's vaguely original, if not totally original. And we're going to put it in, something that's very easy to digest, and kind of like you were saying, the person as it reveals themselves as the killer makes sense, but it's kind of, it doesn't take a lot of, like, mental gymnastics to get there, and it doesn't feel like lazy writing either. And you're like, it's the perfect movie to sit down, drink 4 fucking beers and
Before you start.
Yeah, and just enjoy the ride.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's hilarious because I actually put the notes as aquamarine, and I just wasn't paying attention. Emma Roberts is not in this movie.
Yes.
But anyways, you were saying with the way that we open this film.
It's important to start with 2 people on their summer break trying to have sex.
It's got to be like the first weekend
Yeah.
out of school.
Yeah.
Their parents don't know where they are. They probably snuck into this fucking amusement or this water park to have sex, which my thing is, if it wasn't for the fact that most of the structural integrity of this place was made out of wood, I'd be all for it.
Sure.
I don't like
Dick splinters.
Yeah. I also, well, straight up, I also don't like even wearing, like, not wearing shoes around wood.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
I've definitely walked on somebody's shitty back porch before and taken 4 inches through my foot.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
she's about to take those hard 4 inches at the top of this slide.
I thought you were going to make a top of the floorboards joke.
No,
Yeah.
we stay under.
Yeah,
What's
100%.
the under on that?
Minus, let's say 1.5.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
fair
we'll
enough.
probably avoid that one. Um, However, what's so funny about that is clearly, as we see in the movie, that there are on-site bedrooms.
Yeah.
So you had that as an option.
It felt like the shittiest motel I had ever seen. Like I felt like there was still coke in the carpets.
Yeah. So was it, do you think it was the sexual thrill of doing it in a public place where kind of something kind of foreign or exotic, even, you know?
The word foreign is crazy. Because this had to be like,
I just name a person you know that's had sex on a water slide. I can.
well, I'm trying to think about having it in the water slide
Okay.
because I feel like if you're adjacent to something, it's not like having sex on it. You know what I mean? Like people tell these stories all the
Yeah.
time, and I'm just like, no, you were next to it. You didn't.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it feels like you're trying to.
Did you
cheat
have
me.
sex on a bathroom counter, or were they just, you know,
Were you just next to the bathroom
were you in the
counter?
shower?
Geographically, this conversation's fucking me up. So we get to the top. Madame Zeroni gets to the top of the fucking mountain.
Yeah.
I don't think she climaxes, but we get to the top, and there is just this very subtle butt pounding because we're very much from the POV of the killer, which they do a couple times in this movie, which I honestly didn't hate.
Mm-hmm.
And they like he pulls out, which I don't think he was intending on doing, and I think that's what freaked him out initially. He was just like, "Oh!" And he turns around, the girl's just like, "Oh my god!" And then we have like the very classic, yeah,
machete.
So Dum Dum pulls out, falls through the wood fencing that's around the top of the water slide. He hits, I'm pretty sure he like they threw a dummy down and it hits like 4 different slides on the way down.
Dun, 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 dun.
He looked like Placo and hits the fucking ground and just like rolls. He rolls over. I'm dead now. And then you just hear this scream from the top, and then there's like 8 limbs that just tunk, 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 opening kill. It was fucking awesome.
That's how you start.
That's
how you start a slasher, bro.
And it told us what this entire film was going to be like in 30 seconds. And that's all I needed from them. Right.
That's correct. And so we open the like this was happening present day, but we open the main line of the story. And what's happening is we have this high school, I don't know if it was a club or just the popular kids or whatever, but there's 40 to 50 people here that are all they have all graduated, and the tradition
it was Davidson County.
They're at Valley Hills High School, not Hill Valley. Back to the Future fans, was the tradition is to spend a weekend at this water park, get fucked up, do the slides, do the race at the very end, and it is what it is. Sweet.
Do coke off each other.
I buy it. I buy it as a concept. That's perfectly fine. We meet some of the characters, 4 of which are in a band called the Blades, and the presumable lead, I guess he was the singer frontman, is the guy Josh, who is our main male character in this movie.
Say protagonist for all intents and purposes.
Yeah. He didn't really do anything.
I don't think anybody really did anything.
Yeah.
Other than die.
there wasn't a lot of like final boy, final girl energy in this. So contextualize that again, just as far as slashers are concerned. This is more of a group effort kind of survival thing.
It really felt more like spin of the wheel, because it like by the end of it, it's just like, oh, you just went down the other slide, which is fucking crazy in and of itself.
But the idea being that there's a little bit of a love thing going on, like we'll call her the class president, the redhead girl, is very much having sex with the owner of the water park, who is married to someone who also works at the water park who is currently fucking Josh's dad. So that's kind of the dynamic.
It's a love square.
We also have an employee of the water park, Tommy, who's our perceived bad guy through the beginning, middle, and most of the end of this movie.
He's very clearly an abusive boyfriend.
Very clearly a douchebag city kind of,
I just don't think you ever get to use words like, "Oh, you just know how I get sometimes." Like that tells me that you hit women.
Backup quarterback energy. Okay. And he is dating Josh's ex. I didn't really understand that because neither Josh nor his ex had any lost feelings for each other. I think it was just like the way they explained in the story was that she left high school to work at this water park for whatever reason, didn't pursue a degree or a GED or anything, and just met Tommy, and that was what it was. But that's also going on while we have this love square going on.
I feel like there's literally just a line of dialogue that you could have dropped to be like, "My mom has cancer." That's all you had to say. Like I
quit high school because it wasn't my thing. High school is nobody's thing.
But being a water park attendant.
That's what I aspire to be.
That's what I aspire to be.
That's what grinds my beans in the morning. That's
dude. And I honestly, I could not even fucking imagine working at one of those places.
No, I know.
There's so much pee,
bacteria,
there's MRSA, urine,
staff.
Yeah. I think the staff's fine.
Yeah, you take a staff. You take a staph infection over MRSA.
No, actually, well, I don't know. You can cure a staph infection.
Yeah, true.
I'm terrified of MRSA. I had a dude walk up to me one time. He was a good friend of mine, and we were talking about MRSA. This is actually when I discovered what it was.
This was back in 2005, where that big scare came out, that MRSA awareness.
Well, the wrestling team, most of them caught it.
Yeah.
That year.
Yeah.
And I was talking to somebody about it, and they were like, "Do you know how easy it is to get fucking MRSA?" And I was like, "No." And he just like takes his finger and rubs it down my arm and goes like that. And I was like, "What the fuck?" He and subsequently I do not have MRSA.
Cool.
So,
okay. Bad touch, dude.
Dude, I would have shot him in the face. Like
were y'all naked in the locker room? I'm just curious.
No. Dude, I was weird in high school, man. Like when I would get out of fucking when I would get out of football practice, I would not shower with the rest of the dudes. Like that was way too gay for me. Like,
see, we were asked to do it at the end of gym class.
Oh, I just said no.
And that was my thing because I had already. This is a funny Eric before he knew anything kind of moment, but it was like I was like 12 or whatever, middle school. I didn't know it was uncool to wear tighty whities. And so I had already like been exposed to like, bullying for like wearing the wrong underwear, which is always weird to me because like looking back on it now, I'm like, why did they care what kind of underwear I was wearing?
Because they were
gay. Yeah. But anyway.
But like closet gay, not like the cool gays.
But the gym locker room, the sports locker room, all that shit I wasn't into either. I totally feel that.
Yeah.
I hate most of you anyway. So the idea of like being in an incredibly vulnerable and intimate scenario with a bunch of dudes.
I was just thinking the word intimate, which is fucking like that. That's weird.
It is
to be like, "Hey, boys, go shower together." Well, yeah. Standing here,
right? Yeah, I'm gonna stand here and make sure y'all don't do anything weird.
Okay. Like kiss.
Y'all should kiss.
Y'all should kiss. So the only thing that we also introduce in this right now is Ivan Osa's character, Big Phil, who is essentially the bully of this, it seems like. But he's like a really shitty bully because he'll like get in somebody's face and like they'll like blow him a kiss is what I was like the one who like tickled underneath of his chin.
And he kind of just, no, stop. He doesn't actually hit anybody. He doesn't actually call anybody a slur or anything like that. He just, no.
Which, I mean, he was a black dude, so he had the entire arsenal.
Some ammunition.
He had the entire arsenal if he really wanted to bully somebody.
That chamber is full, sir.
It's a 36 chambers.
Yeah. It's got those like bandolier, like Chewbacca style going, like just letters on the front of them. There's a Star of David somewhere in there.
So yeah, effectively, we are now, getting our initial yayas out. There's people that like the redheaded queen is like having sex with her way overage boyfriend who just runs the park. He
Yeah.
doesn't even actually fucking own it.
True. Yeah, that's yeah.
And,
He's the
and
manager.
he's like sorting coke off of her. And I gotta tell you, I was talking to Eric about this. I fucking hate doing coke with people. Like, first of all, everyone acts like they're doing a felony. And secondly, I feel like when like doing it off of somebody isn't really hot. Like it's not hot, it's not cool, it's not
It
like
doesn't stimulate anyone in a sexual way, right? Like it's not there's nothing physically happening there, right? You know.
if I were to make a cool scene with coke in a movie, it would be like you put a line over a gun and then like you shoot somebody. The line launches into the air when the fucking round ejects and you snort it out of the air. That's cool as fuck.
Right. Yeah.
There are so many
Most imaginary things are cool. You're right.
there are so many titties in this movie that are not imaginary
Yeah.
that I like. What are you accenting it with? The powdered sugar that you found in the
Yeah.
back?
Yeah.
But that's just me. I'm sure there's plenty of people that feel differently, like the people that go to strip clubs and shit. But you know, but anyways, everybody's starting to let loose, and this is like one of my favorite parts is when two of the Neanderthals are going down
We'll
the
call them the bottle kids.
yeah. They get down to the bottom of the or they're going down the slide and there's a radio at the top and they're so serious at this point. They're like, "We got to shut the slide down. They've got a bottle on the slide." It's like a bottle of vodka or whatever.
Right.
And the first dude hits the bottom and he raises the bottle and he's like, "Yeah." And the guy comes behind him and smashes the bottle into his face.
This cool slow-mo shot of that sugar glass shatter. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And they have to shut the slide down. And my favorite part is Conrad, the maintenance guy, essentially for the park,
Mhm.
gets into the pool when they're cleaning it out, and he looks at the guy who's fucking the redhead, the way older dude who runs the
Mhm.
park, and he's just like, "So do we need to shut or do we need to drain the pool to get all the glass out? Because
Mhm.
you burn the ice, right?"
Yeah.
And the guy goes, "We are not cleaning the pool out. This, that, and the other. It's going to take too long and too much money, and this, that, and the other."
And he's got the bottle like
That's still sticking to the
Yeah.
sticker where it's like still 60% of a bottle
Yeah.
hanging out of his hand. And he just goes, "Okay." The guy turns around, he just drops it back in the pool
Mhm.
and keeps fucking going about
Sure.
his day.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. That's the kind of energy that and that's why Conrad's my favorite character in this movie.
Oh, Conrad is the epitome of I'm hourly.
Yeah. Absolutely. There's a really like inconsequential scene aside from setting up this character, but we meet Priscilla and she's running the car wash program. Another tradition. All the girls wash all the cars and everything. And it's not even like a
All
hot
these girls were in like their 30s.
yeah, it's not even like a hot car wash. You know, I know what you're thinking. This should
It's a
be, and it's
cold
just
car
yeah, yeah. Let me not make that joke. we Priscilla, like I said earlier, is married to the park manager, who's yeah. So that's the dynamic here. As we come to find out moving on, she has a much greater role in all of this, though. So Mark Priscilla, she's important for a couple of reasons in progressing this plot. I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit because we have like dinner scene where Priscilla is absolutely cheating on her husband with Josh's dad, and Josh's dad is the guy who owns the park, and he's considering selling it, and they're this, that, and the third. That's kind of like just what that dynamic
Meanwhile,
is.
her husband's getting his dick sucked
Right.
in a
So
shack wagon.
they're both pieces of shit, and that's that's fine for what it is. Nobody is I would say like moral in this movie, which is kind of what makes it so cool.
They always seem to find each other.
They do. I know. I agree. And I want to talk about the night scene where they do like the neon pool mode, or and we've got like paint that we're spraying all over titties and shit, and it's like that's cool.
There's like
Um,
speed she's putting into her fucking tits and shit.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And the Blades play a show, and they do what's the name of the song? Is it literally just Sunglasses at Night or something like
I
that?
don't
But
remember.
they
I don't
just
know what the actual name of it
yeah,
is,
I don't
but
either. But that cover
I
is
wear
crazy.
my sunglasses at night.
It took me a minute to get into whoever the vocalist doing that cover's voice, like a little bit, because it was a little. I wear my sunglasses
Glasses at night.
so
I
I
can,
can,
so
so
I
I can.
can.
It's a little in that like nasal territory that I'm not a big fan of, but the cover itself was sick. And again, musical selection. I don't know how you get the rights to that song. I think because it's a cover, you have a caveat or like a loophole or something.
Because they
Um,
probably had to independently record that.
yeah, and because you can do that for free. There's a little bit of it's like $12 or something like that. Anyway, but the plot moving forward, Josh's dad comes to see it with Priscilla in hand, and then pulls him aside after Tommy finds out that Josh fucked his girlfriend slash Josh's ex lover, whatever
Like
this
super
like
soft. Like
like
it was
super soft, but they have that like locker room shower staph infection sec. Um,
it was way too
yeah,
intimate for me.
that
For
that that ringworm sex. Like,
no, you just put it
um,
through the ring.
so
That's
Tommy,
how you know where the vagina is.
so Tommy punches the shit out of Josh. Chad, who consistently throughout this movie is a running joke, gets misnamed. Takes a swing at Tommy, who just ducks and then punches Chad again, and Chad goes down too. And so Josh's dad leaves, and Josh stops him, and his dad was like, "No, I just couldn't stand there and watch you get the shit kicked out of you like that." He's like, "What do you want, Dad?" He's like, "Well, I'm a millionaire, you know. How would you like to own this water park?" He's like, "I don't want your money, Dad." And this whole time, like the class president girl is watching this conversation again, kind of, I ain't saying she a gold digger, but
But
um,
she was like, damn, I'm fucking the wrong digger.
Perfect. It was the slow blink for me. You're like, nice. Kinda.
No, the look of realization across her face was fucking
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah, 100%.
She went through the widest range of emotions that happens in this movie.
Yeah. The most dynamic actress in this movie, incidentally. I'm trying to think what else happens that means anything. There's a kid that finds a radio on the beach. That didn't mean anything.
Except for the end credit scene.
Which also didn't mean anything.
That is not true. Because that is the opening for Aquaslash 2. The wettening.
Like I said. So I don't know. Do you want to jump ahead to the race at the end? Because this is kind of where it all goes down.
Yeah,
Like
sure.
there's some more like Tommy is mad that the girl wants Josh instead of him, and Conrad has a she doesn't love you, man. Just let her go.
I thought Conrad was going to suck his
She's
dick.
a distraction. Yeah, Conrad gives me like dick sucking vibes. He's got like
My man, Conrad seems like he could be the peanut butter, the jelly, or the bread.
yeah, 100%. Yeah. True verse. True verse.
Uh,
Um
so yeah,
yeah.
there's all the dissent between everybody at this point, and the funniest part is, Tommy is the one who, like, it's funny because he finds a bolt loose underneath of the slide
Yeah.
before the race, right?
And naturally assume that one bolt is holding this whole operation together.
And it's funny that, like, he wasn't wrong when he was like, guys, you can't go down the slide.
Yeah.
He was wrong when he said it's gonna collapse.
Right.
What he didn't realize was that somebody put fucking medieval swords through either side of a fucking slide tunnel.
Like Dark Souls boss sellsword twin blades.
Right.
For
And
this
just went,
thing. Yeah. Yeah. Big X right in the middle of the slide. Okay. While this is happening, we have a tangential scene that shows Tommy's dad get murdered in one of the houses.
yeah.
And then that just saying that, and we can keep going
Yeah.
because it kind of matters.
Yeah, kind of.
So the idea here is we're going to have the annual race to top out this weekend, and it's going to be, just getting your teams, go down, whoever wins wins. Woo, tradition. You know. And what's funny about this is where you see there's a scene where the park manager tells Priscilla, "My wife and I have decided to put our differences aside, and we're going to make this weekend as great as we can for you guys by doing this race and everything." Tommy runs up, "No, don't do it. No, don't do the race." And Priscilla's like, "Yeah, so this is just really important because it's been
Tommy, I told you don't work
right.
here anymore.
Yeah. And the redhead girl is like, "We don't care." As Priscilla's breaking it down, you see that flash in her eyes. And so, what I think is funny is we have the moment, I would say this is where you start seeing the breadcrumb trail a little bit, because
Yeah.
Priscilla starts ushering people who are shitty, who have limp dicks. She got fucked by one of the dudes earlier, kind of.
I was gonna say kind of.
Ushering them into the tunnel of terror, as it were. So she is selecting who goes down the saw slide, the seesaw,
Right.
the
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 seesaw.
seesaw. Yeah.
And one of the funniest parts to me is the fact that Tommy does not escape this fate,
No.
because Tommy has been a shitty character the entire time. He is clitorously
He's clitorously.
he is clitorously a shitty, abusive boyfriend.
Yeah.
He is controlling, he's manipulative, he's a piece of shit. So even though he is the one who found out that something has gone awry, there's a black dude who hangs out with the main crew who doesn't have any real dialogue. All he has is what we were talking about with the Goku Lego style hair coming off the top of him. They were just like, you're gay, and like push him down the slide. He's like,
I'm not gay.
He's like sliding down. And
Not the gay slide.
so, that's what we call that hole. And so the class president and two completely like ancillary is not even the right word, because they have no dialogue. I didn't even
They might not have even been the same person from earlier. I don't know.
Have all been driven into these cross blades in the slide that was in the first part of the race. I guess nobody it's like, oh, no one pays attention to their walkie talkies. And then you remember that Priscilla is actually like the driving force for getting people down the slides. So our protagonist group, I guess you could call them,
survivors, is
all the survivors, because they're not finalists. They just they just lucked out in the roulette wheel.
Yeah, they picked door number 2.
They get down, and then they like get into, you've all been in the base of the slides before in a water park, or I mean, I was not rich, so we still got to do it.
Little 3-foot pool at the bottom.
Yeah. So they get to the bottom, they're like, "Oh my god, we won!" And there is just so much blood already. And what's crazy to me is that people start swimming toward it, and I'm just like, I know you're not thinking about Hep C right now. I get that. That's just like a fear like that people like me have, And it was hilarious to me that they start swimming over to it, and then like the bottom half of the redhead like comes out.
Feet still like up, and it's like
Then like the main male protagonist starts climbing up the slide. He's like, "Oh my god, maybe the top half is still there too." Like, what the fuck are you trying to do?
And then it comes down.
Meanwhile, Conrad has been smoking dope since fucking noon.
Yeah.
He's sitting in the top of the lifeguard chair, and he's like, "Oh," because he faints from seeing this body and slides out of the chair. And this effect
resonated with you.
Oh my god. He falls down and his entire ankle just snaps sideways. And then he gets back up, and I'm just like, I would have either fallen asleep, cried, or killed myself. Like, there's no part of me that
maybe
thinks,
everything,
because it like they tried to tell us that he makes it to the top of this slide
on 1 foot.
Yes. I can't do stairs.
And there's a lot of like pushing and shoving. Oh, I want to go down with this group, whatever. And like Priscilla kind of like selects her group to go down the safe slide and makes it to the bottom. This is happening while her husband is like spread eagle, like feet on the side of the slide or whatever. And Josh somehow makes it to this point by going up a slide with swords in it and around the outside and up to the top layer beyond that where people were still alive. That didn't make any sense to me, but it's fine. And he's like, "I can save you," and the guy's like, "No, you can't. Tell your dad to go fuck himself." And it's like, no,
The level of petty
right?
is something that resonated with me
Yeah,
so hard.
yeah. If anybody cares, Tommy also goes down the sword slide. And then like that's kind of it. It's just like body parts and blood filling the pool. I do want to say like the part about Conrad where he like, "Hey Chris, turn the water off." It's true. And Conrad goes, cracked me the fuck up. It was that, and it was the bolts falling out of Tommy's hands when he like slow try like scenes that they thought went hard. It was just, and again, that's the fucking point, man.
Dun,
It's
dun, dun,
it's
dun,
stupid
dun,
fun. That's
dun,
the whole
dun,
thing.
dun, dun, dun.
So we make it to the end of the movie, and there's kind of like the "I'm sorry your dad died, kid. Good news is he owned this property and he left you his entire fortune. So here's a check for $20 million. Also, do you want to tear down the water park and build a mini mall so you can continue making money?" And kid's like, "Okay, yeah, I'm sorry my dad said. I miss dad." And his like girlfriend, who wasn't his girlfriend but is now his girlfriend, is like, "Yeah, I'm so fucking awesome right now. This is so fucking awesome."
I still don't really understand why Priscilla was in the room,
I don't know why she was in the
other
room
than
either.
like dramatic reveal.
Yeah, I
Because,
guess.
by the way, guys, Priscilla's the killer.
Yeah. Turns out her dad died at the water park 35 years ago, and the lifeguard on duty is who we presume to be Josh's dad. And had he not been making out with some girl, he would have been able to save her dad. So this has all been a premeditated
Revenge
whatever.
fuck.
Yeah, 100%. And like her back in her 80s glory, sunglasses at night, and all that shit. So that's it. That's Aquaslash.
Hmm.
What did you think, man?
I thought it was awesome. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I thought this movie was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's not like one of those things where like I want to watch a movie like Malum or Dread or something that has like a certain type of substance to it. Like
Hmm.
there's substance to this movie, but it's mostly gore and cinematography.
Yeah.
And it's a short watch. It's a fun watch. The characters are as developed as you need them to be because, quite frankly, most of them feel like they're going to die anyways.
Hmm.
Um, and it was nostalgic. Like I don't know. I like super campy fucking summertime slasher flicks like this, and
100%.
it's one of those things that like if you're a person that watches like seasonally your horror movies,
Mm.
I think that's weird personally. But
But you could slot this into a late spring, summertime
yeah,
kind of
if
vibe.
you're one of those people, I would definitely put this in. It's coming up like for that time of year. Like if you're like, oh, it's time to watch Sleepaway Camp. Okay, give this a try too.
Perfect. Yeah.
You know, it's a lot of fun. I really fucking enjoy this one. Um, yeah,
Yeah, this is a great one. I agree. This is a great one if you've got a bunch of friends over and y'all are all taking shots and like, whatever, just having a good night. You guys want to watch a stupid horror movie that's really funny? Perfect choice.
yeah,
Perfect choice. Nobody's going to walk away from that having their life changed or anything. Nobody's going to walk away from that saying they had a bad time at this party because of this fucking movie this dude put on. It is just about, and this is again, this is to me like what the essence of horror is in terms of like where it fits in with like commercially viable entertainment. Like you are making something that is just entertaining. Like, did you have a good time watching this? If you're the type of person that watched this movie and were like, this is dumb, that's fine, but like this is appealing to people who just like dumb horror movies like us.
yeah,
And that's got a valid place in the like upper echelon for me in terms of just pure entertainment horror. That's why we call it Tubi trash, because that's exactly what it is. It's free, it's entertaining. Have a good night.
yeah, absolutely,
Don't worry about it.
absolutely. Um, and I'll go as far to say, and I know we cover this sometimes, but like I would watch this movie again.
Yeah,
We literally did.
we've seen it twice. It was just as good the second time.
Yeah, and honestly, this is one of those movies where when you watch it with a certain select amount of friends, you'll probably have some like jokes between
Yeah, yeah,
yourselves after watching this. So
yeah.
if you just want something fun, check it out.
hmm
It's
It's
free.
Aquaslash,
Yeah,
baby.
Aquaslash.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's a Samurott move.
Probably. Yeah, probably. Fucking love Samurott, man.
Yeah, I guess my only final thought on this is watch Aquaslash. Like,
It's crazy you say that because that's also my.
well, happy summer or spring or whatever the fuck you celebrate.
Yep. We're
Um,
not doing Shark Month again, so don't even ask.
yeah, I think we would do Suicide Month before we did before we do Shark Month again.
And at the end, it's just our feet dangling in front of in front of a camera. It's just your boot. Like,
My boot was my 13th reason. Oh
yeah,
my
dude.
God. Well, thank you guys for joining us once again at Under the Floorboards. And thank you for joining us once again. We're at Creeks, it cracks, and we laugh at the creatures that go bump in the night. Good night, everybody.